Welcome back, folks. I'm Jake ELLENBOGEN. Today, we're going to be talking about the Rams' updated injury report. I feel like this is deja vu, but the most important thing is that Jonah Jackson and Steve Avila are going to be active and play, and their return has been completed for Monday Night Football against the Miami Dolphins. Before we dive into that, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Be sure to follow me on all social media at JKBogan, including Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and Kick. And in addition to that, just want to let you guys know that today's sponsor is Prize Picks, and you can get $50 instantly when you sign up for an account and you play a $5 lineup using my code JKBogan. Instantly. $50, win or lose, you're going to get that on your account, and you just play 2 to 6 different projections, so players, and you can mix and match throughout the NFL, the NHL, the NBA, pretty much any sport. And it's all there. So if you want to get in on the action, be sure to use JKBogan as the code. Sign up for the app today. And of course, you'll get $50 instantly when you play a $5 lineup, regardless if you win or lose. So, all right, guys, we finally have it. The Rams are starting to turn a corner with the injuries. They're starting to finally get back what they were supposed to have going into the season. When you look at the offensive line, you look at the Rams going into the season, Alec Jackson was supposed to play left tackle. He's suspended for 2 games. Then you have at left guard, it's supposed to be Jonah Jackson, but they find out right before the season, well, we kind of like Jonah Jackson at center. Let's put Steve Avila back at left guard, even though we spent the entire offseason building him up into a center. So a little bit of a surprise there, but nonetheless, both of those guys end up getting hurt, okay? So now you have 2-game suspension for your left tackle. You have injuries to your left guard and center. Right guard Kevin Dotson leaves game 1 after they lost in overtime to the Lions in a walking boot. Has not missed a game since, has been battling injury, has been kind of banged up all year. That ankle has really bugged him, but he's doing his best to play through it. Then, of course, Rob Havenstein missed the first game of the season. So everyone was talking about this offensive line when they went back and, they bring in Jonah Jackson, but let's rewind here. They secured Kevin Dotson. We've seen a lot of these guys in the past leave in free agency. Austin Corbett is an example. You trade for a guy, he ends up working out, and then you don't pay him. Well, they actually paid Kevin Dotson. They got it done before free agency. But because this is the NFL, anything can happen, and, it's a business decision, they decided when, of course, Kevin Dotson was a free agent or was going to be a free agent, while they definitely wanted to work a deal together, they also wanted to make sure they had a backup plan. And their backup plan was indeed Jonah Jackson. Sometimes, I've heard the saying is, you don't want to have a backup plan because you might fall into it. But I've never heard the saying is sometimes your backup plan is just as good as your regular plan until you decide to do them both. That's what the Rams did. They went out and they got their backup plan and they brought Kevin Dotson back. So that was pretty cool, interesting, definitely an interesting way of spending their money. They normally don't go this route. But the point here was that they were trying to make one of the more dominant, physically just bruteful upfront offensive line that you could find in the league to protect Matthew Stafford. If this is a 1, 2, 3, 4-year journey, then so be it, but you need to keep him clean. And so lately they've only allowed 1 sack since the bye week on Matthew Stafford, but these guys have not been in play. The Rams, as a matter of fact, have pretty much been shuffling offensive linemen the whole year. I mean, you could just count. Right? Let's just talk about every single offensive lineman that has played on this offensive line. So you have your starting 5 that I just mentioned that were supposed to start, but none of them have actually played together. We're just going to say all 5 of them. A.J. Arcuri, 6, right? Warren McClendon Jr., 7. Joe Noteboom is 8. Diedick is 9. Bruss is 10. Then you have Bo Limmer is 11, right? So there have been 11 guys off the top of my head. There might have been more guys that maybe just showed up for a play or two, but 11 off the top of my head. And that's pretty crazy because they didn't even keep 11 on the 53-man roster that they had going into the season. So it's been a tough journey for the Rams, but they find themselves right now in the thick of things. And that's the good news, right? That's ultimately the good news. Now, the reality of the situation is this. They're 4-4. They're finally back to 500. They need this win against the Miami Dolphins. Now, Bo Limmer and Justin Diedick have played as well as they can, but they've been stretched out. In my opinion, I think Bo Limmer's a really, really exciting player. Long term, he's going to be their center. But I do think we're stretching it a little bit when we say we'd rather have Bo Limmer than have one of these Jonah Jackson or Steve Avila back in the lineup. I just think that's a little bit of a stretch and recency bias. That's all I say. So this is a big, big thing for the Rams because now you're talking about an offensive line that's almost fully healthy. As a matter of fact, they pretty much are fully healthy, except Rob Havenstein is going to miss on Monday night. So that is a bummer. But where do they go from there? You have Jonah Jackson, you have Steve Avila, you have Alaric Jackson, you have Kevin Dotson. Those are your four. Who's going to play that right tackle spot? And some would say maybe it's Warren McClendon Jr., who I would personally go with because he just played against Seattle, end of the game, and came up big. Some would say Joe Noteboom. Some would even say, what about Jonah Jackson or Steve Avila playing right tackle and keeping Bo Limmer? I've seen it all. But the point here, it's very simple. The Rams are finally getting healthier. That's the most important thing. This has not been a team that has worked. It's just not gone the way that they were expecting. And they didn't get any favors. After the bye week, guess what? First game after the bye week, they didn't have Cooper Kupp. Jordan Whittington was banged up, and they didn't really get healthier. The Vikings game is when they got healthier, but they still didn't have everybody back like we were thinking. Even the Seattle game, you're thinking, oh, Avila's going to be back and Jonah Jackson will be back. Nope. No. So now you have a game against the Dolphins. Comes at a great time because the Dolphins are a much better team now with Tua Tagovailoa back. But you have a game against the Dolphins. Tough defense. Offense that can score. Explosive. And this is the week you seem to be getting healthier. Now, again, Havenstein has been ruled out. So has Neville Gallimore. But I think the good outweighs the bad in this one. For a season that has just not gone the way you were hoping for, I think we'll take this a little bit inconvenience here, especially because we now know that Rob Havenstein is likely going to be back. If not next week, he'll be back the week before, and he's probably going to stay away from IR. So in addition to that, they also have questionable designations for Cam Curl, Kevin Dotson, and Christian Roseboom. I'd be shocked if Dotson doesn't play. Cam Curl, maybe a little bit up in the air. Both were limited. Both did not practice on Thursday. Were limited Friday and Saturday. Christian Roseboom, neck injury. Okay, he was limited today. So much so he actually got a questionable designation. So that's interesting. Jordan Whittington, all systems go. He's ready to go. Charles Woods, Josh Wallace, Ethan Evans. As I mentioned, Steve Avila and Jonah Jackson, Demarcus Robinson. So the Rams are going to have their fair share of guys return. And this is the NFL. There are going to be injuries. There'll probably be more injuries, unfortunately. But right now, Rams fans can feel good knowing that right now, they are 4-4. They have a chance to go above 500. So it took them a bit, but now they have a chance to go above 500, which is a big deal. And once you start to do that, then you have the New England Patriots. If you're able to beat, this Dolphins team, which is not easy, I don't want to make it out to be like this is an easy thing for the Rams, but if you're able to beat this Dolphins team, well, you're in pretty good shape at that point because then you got the Dolphins, you got the Eagles. I think they're better than pretty much the majority of the teams left on their schedule. So this is a big deal. It's a big thing. We're going to find out how big it is, but I do expect things with these guys being back, especially Avila, is the screen game is unlocked. You're going to see a lot more bubble screens working, right? It's one thing to call them. It's another thing when they work. You're going to see a lot of bubble screens, I think, working. You'll see some slip screens to Kyron Williams work. You're going to see the ground game look better than ever. I really do believe that. Now, Havenstein not playing is going to hurt the ground game when you're running to the right side. But when you're running to the left, you might have some success considering you'll have Jonah Jackson and Steve Avila. I do expect Jonah Jackson to start center and Steve Avila to start at left guard, but we'll see what ends up happening there. There's been no word on that, but they are good to go. All systems go. Rams are ready. This is the healthiest they've been probably all season, I would say. I think that's definitely fair to say against the 2-6 Miami Dolphins. But that 2-6 record doesn't mean anything because they're a lot better than what they appear. But you'll have to check that out. Monday Night Football, 8:15 Eastern Time. We'll have coverage after the game, of course, on Bleacher Report first. And stick with us on YouTube, and we'll, of course, have our YouTube JE Live where, I break down everything that happened. We take call-ins and all of that. So if you guys enjoyed this video, let me know. Hit the like button. Let YouTube know by hitting the like button. Let me know by hitting the subscribe button. And let me know by commenting as well. But that's going to do it. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to check out Prize Picks, our sponsor for today's video. JK Bogan is, of course, the code. Be sure to sign up. Free $50 just added right to your account when you spend a $5 lineup, whether you win or lose. So appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys soon. Later, folks. Just want to let you guys know that we are doing all 22 live breakdowns every single week, Rams football related, over on Kick exclusively. That's kick.com/JKBogan if you want to get in on the action. And if you want a little something more than just football, I also do gaming streams as well. So check that out. Link is in the description, and hope to see you there. Do you love talking about the Rams, the NFL, or just want to be a part of a community? Join my free Discord server today. We're over 800 members. We got 24/7 live chat, a level 3 boosted server, the ability to call into JE Live, playing online games with us on Kick streams, toggleable alerts for when I go live on YouTube or Kick so you don't miss a live stream, and exclusive giveaways. Click the link in the description, the comments section, or the link that comes up in the video to learn more and join today.